Barakatay Hawa, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Hassan Campbell Scores, Captain Tazaryach Fumbles at the 1 yard line. Now, there was a live feed going on last night that brothers were passing around. I happened to watch some of it, and I was, watching between this and another one Elder Pastor had sent me. And pretty much Hassan Campbell had Captain Tazaryach on, and they were discussing different things of the community and, different things like that, And I have the actual clip on my phone that I want to play. But what happened was the video was unavailable. The live from last night with Hassan Campbell and Captain Tazaryach. This video has been removed by the uploader, which is Hassan Campbell. Now, I'm not sure if he took it down because he was a little disgusted with Captain Tazaryach's answer concerning, or his reaction, or what he said concerning the MOTB in Revelation 13, or if he took it down because Captain Tazaryach asked him to take it down. I'm not sure which way it went, but that's neither here nor there. Now, I hope, because I really don't want to play the clip if the brother Hassan Campbell took it down because of whatever reason he took it down. I really don't want to play the clip because, I don't want to get a strike on the channel, but I want to play it because so you can hear for yourself. I'm not sure if other brothers played it. This is something that's been, brothers been, sending it to each other. And Hassan Campbell was getting down, when it came to he sounded like an Israelite, like one of us, which he is an Israelite, but he sounded like one of us, and he was going into, society breaking down and how Jake been playing around. They ain't ready for what's coming. He spoke about, doomsday preppers, the preppers and all of that. He spoke about different things of that nature. He spoke about the FEMA camps, martial law. And I was like, all right, get down, Hassan. He was getting down. Then, he said, y'all going to go to the government, for help and blah, 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 this, that, the other. Then they're going to give you the C hip, put the C and the hip together. You get it, which is the micro C hip. And that is the MOTB, which is the acronym for the MARK to the BEAST. We can't say certain words because of the algorithm gets our videos clipped. And he was getting down. He sounded like he was, one of the Israelite members that, was down with GMS or any other groups that teach it. And I was like, all right, get down, brother. And all of a sudden, Captain Tazaryach jumps up and fumbles right at the 1 yard line. He starts, you could tell he was perturbed, as Elder Karatazar pointed out of Vegas. He said he was perturbed because he wasn't expecting that. It's almost like when Hassan Campbell said all that, it was just like like the record stopped or scratched. And then, he went from that, then he went into explaining this is why he fumbled. Like I said, I played a clip. Hey, papi, man, babakusha, which means please don't get my video clipped. If you took it down for whatever reason, I have to play that little section, let a brother live, man. And Tazaryach went from that to, when heroin and feminism destroyed the... I said, what the... What? I mean, he fumbled bad, and you could tell he wasn't expecting that coming from the brother Hassan Campbell, and it's funny because at the beginning of the video, even the people that were making comments said that Hassan was humbled. You could tell he was like really like a kid in the candy store, so to speak. Like he has real extreme respect for Captain Tazaryach. But when that happened, as Elder Karatazar pointed out, when Captain Tazaryach fumbled at the 1 yard line, Hassan Campbell was putting his head down like, huh? You know? So it was heavy, man. It was a heavy exchange. So I'm just gonna play it. You know, I ask you, please, Papi, Hassan Campbell, please don't get the video clipped. You know, if you have a problem with it, just hit me up. You know, put a comment on the comment section and tell me to take the video down, and I'll take it down so that, you know, we don't get the channel clipped. All right. And then I'll go to a couple of precepts to prove what Hassan Campbell was saying, you know, that it's true. You know, so let me play the video. Let me roll this beautiful footage.
Shows as doomsday preppers, and they putting out shows like The Walking Dead or.
Hold on for a second. Let me clip this piece of dog shit right here. I meant to get rid of it, but I hit block for 5 minutes. So if you brothers that's, you know, that got the wrench, if this piece of dog shit comes back, you know, get rid of it. All right, so Salaki for that.
For 30 days and seeing how long you can stay out there. Naked and afraid. Shows like Naked and Afraid.
Let me bring it back.
And out shows as doomsday preppers, and they're putting out shows like The Walking Dead or How to Survive. You going into nature for 30 days and seeing how long you can stay out there. Naked and Afraid. Shows like Naked and Afraid. They're showing you, they're giving you signs and they're letting you know where the world is turning. And we are mesmerized and captivated by celebrity gossip, by dead celebrities, by Kanye West with his ignorance. It's like we are living in a time where a hard head is going to make a soft ass. And all I'm going to tell you people is, don't find yourself going to Uncle Sam looking for aid and help, and he leads you to a FEMA camp because you can't pay these bills, because you can't provide for your children, because y'all think it's a game and y'all think it's a clutch, and y'all got too comfortable using Uncle Sam. He's going to put you in a position where he wants you to.
Won't to them not go down to Egypt for help?
In those camps, to get that help, you got to get that chip, that mark of the beast.
Oh, Tazaryach.
Look.
You got to interject now.
For black people, okay, so now I'm gonna flip this.
Yeah, he's throwing off.
There, right? Because some of that.
Look, he's throwing off.
Not from you, because you're speaking from the FEMA camps, the bunkers, and shit. That's all white folk shit, right? Because
white folk shit.
Believe that their kingdom is falling.
This dude is out of his mind, man. Tazaryach, you are not a man of the Lord, bro.
In bunkers and shit. You put a nigga in a bunker, he dying in 2 weeks. He not gonna have enough food in there. We don't think like bunkers. But here's what I will tell you: when the heroin,
man,
the feminist movement,
how Hassan Campbell, he sound, how is he sounding more like he's in a prophecy than this guy?
Community, and we decided to sell it. We like to look at what we call the OGs.
Yeah, so, you know, you heard it. Like I said, Hassan, Papi, if you happen to watch this, if you have a problem with me playing that clip, just let me know. I'll take the video down, you know, because I don't want to get a strike on the channel. But, you know, I just had to, you know, bring it out because you heard it for yourself. You could go back and replay it. I'm not going to play it again. And pretty much when Hassan Campbell was getting down, all right, he was getting down. He knows something. And he sounds more like an Israelite that's out there teaching on the streets than Captain Tazaryach, you know, based off of that particular, you know, exchange, you know, because this is the main thing that we're supposed to be doing is warning Jake of the prophecies that are coming. Let's go real quick to Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. It says this: Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. We're supposed to be watching for who? For the enemy and the things that the enemy is setting up. Matter of fact, now that I read that, another precept came to mind. Let me read this back. Go back here. So we are the watchmen. We are supposed to be watching. Oh, wait a minute. Another one. Barakatayahu Bashir Mahushai. Isaiah, what is that? 60, no, 50, is it 56? No, 62. Is that it? Yes, beautiful. So the watchman is supposed to sit on a tower, watch for the enemy. When the enemy comes, supposed to blow the trumpet. Right? And depending on how the trumpet is blown, the people either get together for festivities, they get together for a message, or they get together for war, or they get together for, the enemy's coming, watch out. It says, so this is our job. It says, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel, because the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians in the hoods, the barrios, in the different places where they are, these are the Israelites. And the enemy is coming. And there's a reason why the whole world right now is being set up under a digital basis of operation. All right. There's a reason why when you go to Brooklyn and different places, you have those 5G towers. What is it? 32 foot 5G towers. What is that all about? And the whole thing is, well, the FDA approved it. It's for those that that I'm not sure if they said low income, or that don't have access to the internet. They can get free internet because that's how they're setting it up. That's the Trojan horse. Free internet, and people, oh yeah, I'm cool with that, and that is all set up in place as a part of the infrastructure of this new system that they're putting in place, which is going to be everything operating digitally. This is why the money is being devalued. This is why the economies of the world are collapsing. This is why ever since 2001, the value of the dollar has been going down drastically. Because at the end of the day, they plan on, subdermally, which means under the skin, put something into people, which is the C hip. Take the C and the hip and put it together, with the micro in front of it. And that is going to be a way of operating financially. And it's going to all be based off of a credit system or, credit score system. Much like when you try to buy a car or a house or get a loan, and if your credit ain't that good, you only qualify for so much. You see, or you don't qualify at all, if you don't meet the criteria. So that's why everything is going digital. Everything's going online to make it easier for them to control who operates and functions in society. You have futuristic movies that bring this out. It says, therefore, hear the word in my mouth and give them warning from me. That the wolf is coming. And the wolf is coming in the form of these different legislations that they're passing to push this whole system in place. They are using China they're using China as a model for this NWO, which is the so-called New World Order. And they're using that whole system and the way that China is set up to impose that upon the whole entire planet, on the whole world. And that's what they plan on doing. It's total control of your body and soul. All right. So when we go to, Isaiah 62:6, it says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. See, so the Lord set the watchmen up. Matter of fact, another one just came to mind, Barakateh Bashim Shai. So let's go back and say, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, who are the watchmen? The prophets. The job of the prophet is to watch what's going on and warn the people of the impending danger that's coming. It says, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. And that's why you see brothers out there in the daytime. You see brothers out there in the nighttime. You see, videos on YouTube and other different sites, social media sites, that continuously push this word out there about who the Hebrew Israelites are, the hard times that are coming, what to do to get right with your power. Yes, keeping the commandments is a part of it, but we can't keep the commandments if we don't know the commandments. And we can't keep the commandments unless we have a name that's attached to that, which Lord's will, I might do a separate lesson on that. Elder Apostle Tahar put Matthew 24:11, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Right, and that's what's happening. You have false prophets among our own nation that are painted as men of the Lord, but they're not. They're deceiving the people. They're not warning the people of the impending dangers of taking this new technology that they're pushing out there, which they're making it very convenient. And they're not warning the people of what's coming. And the ones that have the platform to do it, that have the ear of Jake out there, they refuse to teach it. And they keep trying to knock it down. The two main things that they're pushing away and they're hiding from Jake is the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and the technology of the MOTB, which is the C-HIP. And those are very important things to know about, because if you take it, you're going to die. Revelation 14 tells you if you accept that the MOTB, which is the MARK of the BEAST, which is the micro C-HIP, you will be destroyed. You will die. So it's very detrimental to know. So that no one is going to, because Yahushua said this gospel shall be preached throughout the four corners of the earth, then shall the end come. So there will be no excuse. There will be no, I didn't know, nobody told me. No, it's all gonna be out there. So Matthew 24:24, for there shall arise false anointed, which when it means false anointed, meaning those that claim to be inspired, those that claim to be divinely inspired by the Lord to go out here and teach, but they're false. And you could tell by what? By their fruits, by the things that come out of their pie hole. It says, and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect, because they're going to be very convincing. So the majority of the world is going to be deceived into taking it. And then they're going to, I was meditating on this the other day. They're going to shame a lot of people. Look at you. You call yourself a provider. If you go get that thing, you'll be able to provide for your family, for your children. Here it is. We homeless, hungry, ain't eat in 3 days, So some people, most are going to be deceived. Some are going to be shamed into it. It's going to get real out here. Going back up to another, let's see, another one Elder Apostle Tara put up. Wow. Okay, wow. 2 Peter 2:1, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies. And that is a damnable heresy. Here it is, Hassan, like the elder Karatazar said, Hassan Campbell sounds more like a man that should be out there on the streets teaching Israel than Captain Tazaryach. Here it is, he broke it down beautifully, and Captain Tazaryach comes Captain Tazaryach with the fumble at the 1 yard line, talking about when heroin and feminism came into the black. What? Say what? Say what? It's like, wow. Let's see what else we got. 1 John 4:1, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. That's right. And there's a reason. If you look at the amount of times that we were warned in the scriptures about false prophets, it's overwhelming. The amount of scriptures that are written in the scriptures based off of false prophets. Because you've always had false prophets going all the way to the beginning of the creation and all the way up until the end. There will always be false prophets until the kingdom of heaven is established. Let's see what else we got. Jeremiah 14:14. Yep. Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not yet, because Captain Tazaryach, even the IUIC, they know the names of the Lord. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you of a false vision and divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart. That's right. Yeah, like the elder Apostle Tara said, you got to eat and your kids got to eat. Yep, they're going to be shamed. The up and coming elder from North Carolina, 2 Corinthians 2:11, least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. That's right. Oh, wow. Look at that. Elder Apostle Tara said, I got a video coming up that deals with the same topic. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so it says, Isaiah 62:6, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. And that is the job of the prophets. Ezekiel 13:3, thus saith the Lord power, woe unto the foolish prophets. And that's what Captain Tazaryach is. You know, you have individuals of the ISUPK. We're dealing with the ISUPK now. I'm not going to even mention any other groups. They are foolish prophets because they're not giving you the necessary, spiritual weaponry to be able to be protected and stand in these days. One of the main weapons, spiritual weapons in this spiritual warfare is the name, or are the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. It says that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing, right? Because it's all about their own spirit. This is why the scriptures, Yahweh Shai quoted scriptures from the Old Testament when he said that, that Jake loves, the commandments of men more than the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says, O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the desert. You're sly, sneaky, conniving. You have not gone up into the gaps, meaning out there on the streets. But you have groups that go out in the streets. Some of them don't go out in the winter in certain areas, but you have not gone up in the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because the time of Jacob's trouble is coming. And part of the time of Jacob's trouble is going to be predicated upon famines, hard times, turmoil, because the whole system is moving in the direction of, this digital based abilities to deal, in society. The way you see it now, you could use a credit card, debit card, you could use your EBT card, you could use, cash, different forms of pay, you could use your phone. That's all going to be phased out, and it's all going to go digital as far as being put directly into people. They have the technology out there. You have something called subdermal, which is under the skin, devices that will be placed in people. You have those devices that will be implanted into people's minds based off of a so-called medical, emergency or to help people with disabilities. You have Elon Musk, he got something that goes inside of the head in the brain, and they're talking about doing human trials within the next 6 months. They've tried it on monkeys, they tried it on rats, they tried it on everything. Going back to the Delgado, I forgot his first name, the Delgado bull, which they put electrodes in the bull's brain, and they got the bull roused up, and when the bull was ready to attack, they hit the switch and turned the switch off. So they've been working on these things, because the scripture said that knowledge shall increase. So the Lord said that you have not made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. So you haven't prepared the Israelites, and you know better, especially those individuals that have a mind to research. There's no excuse, because it's not that hard unless the Spirit of the Lord is just not dealing with you. When you go to Revelation 13 and you look up those root words, it lets you know what's going down. Even when you look at the number 666, it breaks it down as chi psi stigma. Stigma is something that's pricked inside of you. The Apostle Paul called it an marks in the book of Ephesians, the 6th chapter. And when you look at it, it tells you that that's how the ancient, armies or the ancient people, servants were identified by their owners, so to speak. And then even Revelation 13, I forgot where it's at exactly, but it says a badge of servitude. So it's gonna that whole MOTB system, which is the CHIP, is gonna be set up, as a way to track the merchandise, the slaves of the so-called international banking families, the so-called elite. All right. Habakkuk 2:1, and I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Right. So standing on the tower means what? Watching what's going on, watching the prophecies to see what's happening, and then once you find out what's happening, report it to the people, so that they could be mentally prepared for what's coming. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon table. So you're not supposed to hide it. You're supposed to make it plain. It says that he may run that readeth it. Right. So whoever takes heed to the message, he'll run for protection to the Lord. And whoever makes light of the message, they'll be destroyed. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. And we're at the point right now where it's speaking loud and clear. And it's very detrimental to know these things, because the times that are coming, which is Jacob's trouble, is going to be hard times. Daniel 12:1, it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up. And it's going to get so bad that Yahushai, Michael, the angels are going to have to come and deliver us. This is why it says in Isaiah 59. Oh, it's going to get real out here. Go back to the 70 AD. What did Yahushua say? When you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, know that the desolation thereof is near. For these be the days of vengeance. So when you see these signs, you see these things, know that the destruction is near. Know that there's something that's about to go down. And that's the job of the watchmen, the prophets, to see these things and to warn you. Not to sing you a lullaby and put you back to sleep. Isaiah 59:19, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west. But and obviously among certain groups, they don't fear the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And it says what? From the west, because we're in the Western Hemisphere. And this is where the greatest deliverance is going to come to, here in the Western Hemisphere. This is why the Lord is using his word to sift the house of Israel, to gather his elect. Because the pure word is what's doing the sifting and gathering. It's what's entering into the minds of the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and drawing them back to the Father. It says, and his glory from the rising of the sun, because Yahushua and the angels are coming with what the world calls UFOs, which are the chariots, the whirlwinds, the different, names in the Bible, biblical names that are given to them. It says, when the enemy, which is who? Esau, the so-called white man, these FEMA camps, the martial law, which we've been speaking about for I don't know how long, that we were being ridiculed, way back in 08, 09, during the YouTube era, even before that, but during the YouTube era, 08, 09, we were being made fun of, mocked, because we would bring these things out. And Elder Apostle Gabar was one of the main apostles that was bringing this out back then, hardcore. And we were being ridiculed for that. But now that it's apparent that you can't deny it, now the individuals that laughed at us, now they're acting as if they always taught it, and we're teaching something different. Now we're teaching, we're just going to make an easy, smooth transition into the kingdom of heaven. What a fucking bunch of lying sacks of shit. When it was us blowing the horn constantly. But now that things are evident, now, they're getting the credit for bringing it out, and we're looking like they was looking back then. Or they're trying to anyway. Because I'm going to say it like this. The Most High sees, though. So he's... Okay, Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth. Oh, no. We were in Isaiah 59. Satan tried to steal the joy, but nope. Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy, which are the FEMA troops, the different martial law troops, that's false to Alexander. We will not die in the kingdom of heaven. What do you think everlasting life is all about? when the Lord Yahushua spoke about everlasting life, what does that mean? Everlasting life doesn't mean you go 1,000 years and then you die. You know, how is that everlasting life? It says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, meaning the armies coming in like a flood. Another good scripture Elder Pastor always brings out is the book of Job, 30th chapter, I believe it is. It goes into the flood. And also another good one is Psalms 124. The Spirit of the Lord, which is going to be some type of divine intervention, shall lift up a standard against him, because they're not going to be able to destroy the elect. You know, the only ones that are going to be able, the only ones that they're going to be able to destroy are the ones that are not a part of the elect. That's who they're going to destroy, not the elect. The elect cannot be destroyed. No matter what you do, they will not be destroyed. And if some of the elect happen to go into the grave, they're going to be raised up from the grave and go right into the chariot. You know? But as a whole, you won't be able to destroy the elect. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, not the whole world, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, which are the Israelites, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, not vocab. Okay? Right, as the up-and-coming elder said, they don't like talking about what's to come. That's right. Let's see. Yeah, they don't really speak about prophecy. That's right. That's a good observation. Let me read this precept here. Acts 14:22. Oh, man. Matter of fact, Salakia. Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Acts 14:22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. That's right. It's going to be a hard way. Matthew 24:21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. See? And that's the time we're coming into. All right? So, going back to Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble. See, this is Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, which the book of Matthew 24 echoes the same sentiment. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book, meaning the elect of the nation of Israel will be saved. Because not just because you're an Israelite will you be saved. Only the elect of the nation of Israel will be saved. Isaiah 10:20, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, the remnant, the elect, shall no more again stay upon them that smote them, which is the so-called white man, the nations. We're not going to look to them for anything, but shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. It says that the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, which is what? The elect, unto the mighty God, the mighty power. Fucking Satan, boy. Satan jumping on everybody. All right. It says, for though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant, or the elect of them, shall return. The consumption decree, what is the consumption decree? That is the destruction, shall overflow with righteousness. You know, which the consumption is the destruction, but also the deliverance of, the elect. All right. So it says, for the Lord of power of hosts shall make consumption even determined in the midst of all the land, and the elect will be saved, and the rest will be destroyed. Which the rest that's going to be destroyed are the 2/3 here in America. Because when you speak about the 1/3 and the 2/3, that's only dealing with America. That's not dealing with the whole entire planet. The elected around the part of the other parts of the planet are a part of the elect, but they're not a part of the 1/3. The ones around the world of Israel that get destroyed are not a part of the 2/3. They were just destined to be destroyed. The 1/3 and 2/3 parts, that's here in America, that land, singular. All right. So pretty much that's it. So that's why it's important to know and identify what the MOTB is, which is the C-hip. You know, and if the Lord says don't take something, don't do something, this displeases him, that displeases him, he will identify what that thing is, you know, for us not to take that displeases him. What good is it? Or don't do this. I hate this, but then he doesn't identify what it is. He don't tell you what it is. So if you take it, then who's at fault then? If the Lord don't warn us, you know, then how could we know to avoid it? Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord God, not man, not vocab, not Bishop Nathaniel, not Captain Tazaryach, not General Yohana, not Bubble-Eye Blackfish, Elder Rakal, the GOCC, will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. And that's why the prophets give you warning of things to come. This is why they are known as the watchmen. This is why they were on the tower, watching for the enemy, to warn the people, so that the people could get it together, so that the people can get their mind right and get in gear and get right with their power, which is their God, Yahweh, and his son, Yahushai, so that when these things come and these calamities come, they could be protected. Because if you take that MOTB, which is an acronym for the MARK of the BEAST, put it together, which is the C hip, put the C and the hip together, you will die. Bottom line. There's no compromising. The scriptures speak about, matter of fact, let's end it off with that, Revelation 14. Because America is heading for a bad one. That's a title right there for the brother, the beloved brother Bakwara Muff. You know, America is heading for a bad one. Revelation 14:8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, is fallen. Babylon is America. This is code name for America, Babylon, Babylon the Great. All right. That great city, because America is a great city, because how big is a city? A city is as big as its citizens. If you live in America, don't matter where you were born in America, you are a U.S. citizen. So the whole of the U.S. is a big, gigantic city that's chopped up into towns and other cities and, you know, municipalities or whatever the hell, all of the villages and all of that. But it's a great, gigantic city, and it is great. Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, dealing with all of the philosophies of America. You know, and this is why the world has been Americanized. From China to Budapest to Singapore to Italy to, you know, Spain, Russia, all of these different places around the world. When you look at them, that's why people don't mind traveling, because they don't feel homesick, because the places they go to have the same type of restaurants, have the same feel to them as America in most cases. You know, the only thing they miss are the faces of the people that they're familiar with. You know, them familiar spirits. Inside joke. All right. So it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, which the beast is NATO and the EU, America is incorporated in that because America is a part of NATO, and his image, which is what? The whole old Roman system. You know, that's all incorporated in there. And receive his MARK in his forehead or in his hand. Because this is going to be the modus operandi. You know, MO, the modus operandi. This is going to be the way people operate in the future. And it's the technology is there. People are already using it. Even the keys that we have right now, which are fobs. You know, I forget what the term fob means, FOB, you know, which is a key It's a key fob. And even when you go open up your door, the connect, if you don't have your key, the connection from the key to the system of the car will open up. If you don't have the key, it won't open. And you don't turn the key, you just pull the latch and the door opens up. So the technology is already there. But when they put it inside of people, and it's not a coincidence that everything is moving digital, you know, power this and electric that, smart cities, which I was watching a video where they said the term smart just means control. It says the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is what? The destruction. It says, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And this talking about the end, the destruction, when the Lord is going to get busy, especially on those that took the MOTB. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, because Yahushai, Michael, and the rest of the angels will be there watching and partaking. Because the final judgment or the lake of fire are the nuclear missiles, but also the lasers from the chariots. So Yahushua and the angels are going to be partaking in this destruction that's coming. The Lord said in Luke 12:49, I am come to bring fire on earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? Give me them keys. That's an inside joke. You know, so if you take the MOTB, which is the C-hip. Let's go here. So you can understand. Let's go to images. If you take this device, as you can see here, X-ray with the device in them, this device, which in the Bible is identified by that word, the English word M-A-R-K, which goes to the Greek word charagma, which means this device here that is going to be inserted into people's hands or in their forehead. In the case of the forehead, it's dealing with what Elon Musk says, you know, the so-called Neura, L-I-N-K. I don't know if that's a part of the algo. And as you can see, this here activates, you know, you have a reader, as you do in the stores, and that will activate that device, and it'll tell them what they need. Now, if you're going to the doctor, it'll give them your doctor or medical records. If you're going to the DMV, it'll give them your driving history. If you're going to the bank, it'll give them your financial history, so on and so forth. If you want to get something to eat or something to drink or whatever the case may be, you're going to have to use that device in order to operate the system that they're setting up worldwide. And that's it right there. And in the case of the other one, for the mind, oh, wait a minute. Boom, there you go. This is one of the latest pictures. Boom. It all operates under signals. Those that, you know, are paralyzed, paraplegics, can have this device put into them, and just by thought can do pretty much anything. So that's a great miracle that the scriptures speak about, you know, and that is the part where they're going to be deceiving people, a matter of convenience, you know. But it's all a part of the MOTB system, and if you take it, you will be destroyed. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many videos from Great Millstone there are that go into every detail of this particular device that they're pushing out there, and of the system that's being put in place. You know, let me see. Key fob is remote control with an RFID. Oh, check that out, and an antenna inside. It is used frequency. It uses radio frequencies to communicate with another RFID tag inside a reader device, which is attached to locking system, which that's what the MOTB is. Each key fob, but it's when it's put inside of you that it becomes the sin. Each key fob chip is designed to transmit blah blah blah, blah. Right, but there's the word fob. I believe fob is an acronym, if I'm not mistaken. Elder Apostle Tar said Federal Reserve Board, Central Bank Digital Currency, right, the CBDC, and that's the system that they're putting in place. And Elder Apostle Gabar said, yeah, like Alex Jones replied to Aaron Russo when Russo mentioned the ultimate plan of the banking elite, the CHIP gives them total control. And that's it. And that's exactly what it's all about. So I'm going to leave it there. I know Elder Pastor said he did a video, I guess similar to this, or certain things. I forget exactly how he posted it. So I think this is a good time to end the video. But if you take this device, either one, whether it be, under the skin, which when you put it in the skull is under the skin too, you will be destroyed. So this is why it's very important to identify it and not take it. And this is the job of the prophets, to identify these things that the Lord is displeased with. Let Israel know, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, not to take it. And if you do, there are penalties that go with it. So with that, I pray that you brothers, a few sisters, have been edified. To the next time I say shalom, and Tawada for all the comments, and Tawada for all the scriptures.